Welcome to the NoPixAfterDark podcast. I'm your host, Aaron Dante. Let me tell you, folks, this has been long and waiting. Been trying this interview for about 6 months. We finally made it happen, and I'm so happy to be here at the New Carolina Kitchen.
Plant-based options.
Plant-based options. Let
That's
me
right.
tell you something. This has been amazing. The lines outside the door, people are very happy. They're happy to eat some great food, and we have guests. So Dr. Lance London, how are you, sir?
Doing great. How about yourself?
Doing good, doing
Great
good.
to hear that.
How you feeling, man?
I feel super great, excited, blessed. And I'll tell you, it's hard to go to sleep for 2 reasons. My excitement's so high, but plus, it's taking 23 hours out of a 24-hour day just to handle the crowds that's coming up in this brand new restaurant.
Let me tell you something. I walked outside, the line was wrapped around the corner
Yes,
to get in here.
and it's still that way.
And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. We're going to celebrate a Black-owned business
Yes,
coming
sir.
to Owens Mills.
Yes, sir.
Because I've been to the one in Prince George's.
Yeah.
I used to go to one out by Largo, town center.
Yes.
I used to go there because it's by Wegmans out that way.
Yep,
And I
it's right from the Magic Johnson Theaters.
right there. And I used to go there all the time.
Yes, indeed.
I had so many pounds, so I had to slow down a little bit.
Come on now. That's why we just added plant-based options.
Ooh,
All
Italian.
different type of delicious options that we've actually seasoned the same way we season what we call home-based food.
Okay.
It's the food we all eat. But then there's plant-based, which is a big market. We realize it, we attacked it, we researched it, and we execute it. I'm trying to tell you, I love plant-based now.
Okay. So people might wonder, who are you? You know, you're coming to this region. Now we call it, we're in Baltimore. You know, Prince George is there.
Yes.
We're in Baltimore. Tell people a bit about you, how you got started into the restaurant game.
Well, many years ago, my dad was an avid entrepreneur. He loved entrepreneurship and what it could do for you. So he always told me, Sonny, if you don't become a doctor or lawyer, I want you to be an entrepreneur or a salesman. And I would always say, well, Dad, why sales? He said, because the more you sell, the more you make. And I like that. I'll repeat that one more time. The more you sell, the more you make.
Okay.
So it's kind of stuck with me. My father got involved with a national restaurant chain, worked for like 5 years to get his own franchise. And right when he was getting ready to get started, he had a heart attack and he died.
Wow.
He passed away. It was horrible. So I went to school for biology to be a dentist.
Okay.
But when I got out of school, I guess it just kind of stuck with me. You know, I kept thinking about the fact that his dream was to be a restaurateur, and his dreams passed away right along with him. So when I had an opportunity to get in business for myself but not by myself, I chose the restaurant industry. This is many years ago, back in 1996.
Okay.
Are you or someone you love in need of mental health support? For All Seasons is now offering same-day therapy appointments with no wait list. Through the For All Seasons Open Access program, you can walk in for mental health services and begin therapy in the same visit. For All Seasons accepts all insurances and provides financial assistance if you need it. For therapy, psychiatry, or victim support, we have appointments available today. Call For All Seasons 410-822-1018.
I had a marketing firm, which that's a whole nother story, this marketing firm that was in a building in downtown Silver Springs.
Okay.
And this marketing firm basically was created to market insurance products.
Okay.
And seeing this restaurant that was available and empty the whole 3 years I was there, I decided to take that shot. I went to the owners of the building, said I have a great concept. If you allow me and get an opportunity to open up in this space, I promise you, I'll prove to you that I can do something great. He gave me that opportunity, and the very first restaurant I ever opened, when I opened it up, I owed nothing on it. You know, I was able to get it done by myself without a bank. That was my very first one. And then something tragic happened. I got a phone call at like 5 in the morning, and the person said, Lance, you know, your restaurant's on fire. I'm right here passing. I was like, what?
Wow.
I was devastated. So what I did was I jumped up. I drove all the way to Silver Springs. I had just laid down from coming from work, to be honest with you. I couldn't believe it. Tears were rolling out my eyes. It was very difficult for me to cry, but tears were rolling out my eyes. I got there and my restaurant was gone. I'll never forget the president of Discovery Channel, because Discovery had their national headquarters right across the street from where I had my first Carolina kitchen. He met me there. We saw it on the news too. And this was just a wonderful thing. He knew that my insurance company, who I had insurance, they were challenging me. They didn't want to pay for it. And he supported me all the way. Wow. So I went on and went around to some banks in the region. And surprisingly, every bank I went to approved me for a loan to open another Carolina kitchen.
Wow.
So I never got one dime, from the insurance company. I had to start from the ground, from the dirt, all over again.
Wow.
You know what? I always say all the time, never give up. Always stay focused. Never let negativity or challenges stop you from doing what it is you want to do. Why? But the challenges are only put there by the devil, to see whether you want it or not. The challenges are put there to kind of give you a setback, and a setback is just a setup for a comeback. You see, whenever you have challenges in your life, especially when you're trying to do something great, you got to realize they're going to happen, because God is not going to allow you to become great, knowing that if you can't handle them at a small level, how can you handle them at a high level? So it's just a test, if you will. And I kind of knew that. So I stayed the course, stayed focused. I said that I'm going to come back. I'm going to make this happen, with or without any insurance money.
Okay.
And little did I know, when I got approved by all the banks that I approached about getting a loan, everyone, it got to the point where I had to choose which bank I wanted with the best interest rate and the best contract. Never had a business loan ever before.
That's unheard of. You know that, right?
Yeah.
People out here scraping trying to get
To this day, I can tell you that the banks told me it was the best business plan they'd ever seen. And back in those days, you couldn't go to the internet and cookie cut it. You had to do it from scratch.
Right.
You know? And once I got approved, I went to work. 1 year, 6 months after my tragedy, I was opening the door to a brand new Carolina kitchen in Largo, Maryland, right adjacent to the Magic Johnson.
And that's the one I used to go to. That's the one I used to go to. I used to be out there all the time.
When doing that, I only did carry out at first. I had never done dine-in, and nobody would show me how to do it. So I had to do it on aggressive ignorance. Of course, we messed up quite a bit.
Of course.
But we finally got it. But the thing that I had that was special is just a drive in me. I like to win. Winners always find a way to win. Losers always find a way to lose. And average people always find a way to be average. So I stayed positive, and guess what? In time, I learned it. And guess what? With a marketing, because I'm a marketing guy, marketing is something you have to understand. If you don't market your business, you're not in business. You with me? You have to market your business.
Okay.
And what I did was I made a questionnaire, and I said, if you went to a restaurant, would you like for it to be Asian, Mexican, seafood, Southern cuisine, hamburgers, hot dogs? Southern cuisine was the one that was chosen. If you went to a restaurant, what colors would you like? Blue, yellow, red and yellow. What kind of music would you like to listen to? Jazz went up. Do you like your food fried, baked, or do you like your food grilled? Grilled won out. And I asked all these questions. Where do you go and frequent for lunch? And I'm not going to tell you the restaurant because I'm not going to give them no advertisement. Because I wasn't open yet, right?
Fair.
But the one that won out. And after I got all this information, it was about 15 questions. I wrote on that paper at the bottom, give your name, your phone number, your cell number, and this new thing called email. Email was brand new.
Okay.
80% of people didn't know what an email was.
Facts.
That's how long ago this was, right?
Yeah,
that was a long time ago, right? I was only 8 myself.
Wow. So you were
getting joking.
But you were getting emails, numbers, email lists already.
I was getting emails, but emails was just created.
Oh, so you were on it.
I was before people even understood what emails was going to be about, right?
Wow. Okay.
And all I did is once I developed and built that restaurant, I had my assistants call every person we gathered. And I used my sales reps every day to go down by a subway station and throughout the community, door to door, getting the questionnaires filled out. I had over 10,000 questionnaires. And for 2 weeks, we called them and told them about the grand opening. And the first day I ever opened that restaurant, I had a line just like the line you see outside right now.
So we
around the building.
We got to find out, Carolina. Why Carolina? Do you have people? A lot of people in South Carolina, or people in North Carolina. So where did the name Carolina come from?
Carolina and Carolina Kitchens, because my family originally from one side, North Carolina, and that's my mother's side.
Okay.
And the other side, South Carolina.
Okay.
So you bring those together, you got the Carolinas.
Okay.
And that's why it's called the Carolina Kitchen, where you get your chicken and much, much more.
And where did you get? Did you bring any family members in about the recipes from down
question.
south? How did you
Good
bring
question.
that? Because I mean,
Yeah.
the flavor here, it's no joke.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
You know, it's funny because my grandmother was known as the greatest cook on the planet Earth. And I'm not just saying it, I mean, really. And every time I told somebody that, hey, everybody's grandmother cooks good. But when I would bring them and let them taste my grandma's food, they'd be, oh my goodness, this is really good, right? My grandmother, they called them Mom Pearls.
Okay.
And at the church, every Sunday, everybody would beg to come over her house and eat her Sunday dinner.
Oh, wow.
Never forget it. And of course, she used to always tell everybody, I hated her doing this, you're my favorite baby. I had about 40 grandkids and would do that in front of all the other kids. It made me feel so uncomfortable. So she would always make my special thing, which was corn pudding was one of them,
Oh,
right?
okay.
Well, of course, it goes well. I even asked her, when I decided to do the Carolina Kitchen, she was proud, right? Because she remembered when I was only like about 17 years old, and I said, Grandma, you make the best darn apple cobblers and peach cobblers I've ever tasted. I got an idea. I'm gonna start a business with your cobblers. And I'm gonna go around the restaurants and tell them, you can have this cobbler, best cobbler you ever tasted. Go ahead and take a taste of it. I'm trying to tell you, it's the best cobbler you ever tasted, and you're gonna be able to sell thousands of these cobblers, and I can make it available for you to make some money.
Right.
It would taste, and of course, I was getting people to actually buy these cobblers. And as I got the people to buy the cobblers, I never forget my grandmother saying, Junior, Grandma old. I can't be cooking all, I don't have enough oven space. I was getting so many sales. I said, Grandma, I got somebody want 5 dozen, 2 dozen.
Wow.
She was like, oh my God, she couldn't keep up, right? So then what I did was I said, okay, let me figure out something else to do.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't got into the car wash business. I've always been an entrepreneur.
I could tell.
Yes.
You were like, just from that, you were hustling, entrepreneur at a young age.
Yes.
Like we can make money off this, Grandma.
Yes.
And that's like the entrepreneurial spirit, and I love hearing
Yes.
about that.
Yes.
You know, you said your dad was like, I want you to be an entrepreneur.
That's right.
And like, what do you say to people when you hear I want to be this, I want to be that? Like, how do you tell the young kids about entrepreneur? Like, it's not easy.
Before I even answer that
Okay,
question,
okay.
I want to say one thing.
Okay.
When I first opened up the Carolina Kitchen, my grandma was way up in her 80s.
Okay.
And I made one mistake. You know, I didn't get all her recipes.
Of course.
And the first day she came there, when I first opened, I think she came on the second day. It was so difficult, like you see it is in here now. And she couldn't even hardly stand. So she only come like one day. She tried to come the second day, couldn't make it. Soon after, unfortunately, she passed away. She never got to see the growth of the restaurant, right? But I'm mad at myself for not ever taking the time to understand, Grandma, teach me how to make these cobblers, right? You know, it was certain things I never got to get, you know what I mean? But I can cook. So I just got in the kitchen, rolled my sleeves up and made some amazing recipes. And I had many years to kind of sharpen my tools and get these recipes like I want them, so people, you know, I kind of know everybody has different taste buds. Some people like things sweet, some people don't. And I understand it. Everybody has different taste buds, but I've kind of found a medium to make people's mouth water and make them excited. And to the question you asked about what I tell young people that want to be an entrepreneur, first I tell them that a dream is only but a wish unless you write it down and start acting upon it. Doesn't matter what you want to do.
Say that one time.
A dream is merely but a wish unless you write it down and start acting upon it. It doesn't matter what you say you want to be. It matters what you do to get what it is you said you want to be. People talk about all the time what they want to do and what they're going to do, but do nothing. So that's the first thing. Another great thing that you can do to really narrow down to what you want to do is you can go to the internet. Internet's free, and you can punch in different businesses, if you will. And you can even punch things like, what are the lowest or the cheapest way to get in business by myself? You know, little no money up front. And I can tell you off the bat, those are service businesses. Some soap and water, some brooms, mops. Start your own cleaning business. Does that make sense?
Facts.
You just have to actually market yourself on the fact that you can clean homes, right?
Right.
You go to the internet, and I would recommend they go and look up at least 10 things that they're interested in. Get yourself 30 days to research each and every one of them, narrow it down to 5, After getting 5, another 30 days, narrow it down to 3. After 3, another 30 days, narrow it down to 2. And then one more 30 days, do intensive research and narrow it down to 1. One of the biggest mistakes that an individual makes when they try to come into business, they try to do too much.
Right.
They're a massive, you're a jack of all trades and a massive none. You've heard that many times.
Correct.
You have to figure out what it is you want to do and stay the course.
Correct.
Focus it. And I say this, and I mean it. Don't expect too much too fast.
Right.
Too many people get in business and think they're going to be a millionaire overnight. It doesn't happen overnight. You with me? It doesn't happen in your time, it happens in God's time.
I like that.
Does that make sense?
I like that.
You can't determine when your success is coming. God will determine when your success is coming. The amount of work and dedication you put in your business to determine when your success is coming. You know, when it's time, you'll know it's time because you'll feel it. It's just something you will feel because you know you put the work in. You ever did something and when you was doing it, you was like, oh man, I'm putting a lot of work, I'm putting a lot of hours. You know, all these things you're doing, you work for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. And then when you actually completed it, you want to tell somebody, look what I did. And they go, oh, that's good. No, look what I did. No, that's good. No, I work for hours and hours. You see, the things that you do that makes you successful, these are the things that nobody see. People don't see the things that truly make you successful.
I call it the root of the tree.
There you go.
It's the darkness. You know,
That's right.
Nobody sees you doing
They
the hard
see the
work.
fruit.
They see the beautiful leaves.
There you go.
They don't see the root of it.
There you go.
I like
Right?
that. I like
So,
that.
I mean, that's very true. So once you figure out that thing you want to do, I would say go all in. There's no amount of time. You know, people tell me all the time, you know, Dr. London, you're going to kill yourself. You're going to die. You work too hard. You work too many hours. I said to myself, look, as long as I'm on this earth, I'm going to do all I can to make my dreams become a reality. You with me? Everything. If I got to put toothpicks in my eyes, you sitting here saying I need to get some rest. When I die, I have the rest of eternity to
Rest.
sleep and rest.
Rest,
But as long, life is short. Everybody thinks it's long. You don't know what God is going to call you. So if you have a dream, and I told you a dream is merely but a wish unless you write it down and start acting upon it.
I love that.
If you have a dream, if you have something you want out of life, you better do all you can. You better fight for it. How bad do you want it? You gotta fight with it. You know, like if you, just now if we jumped in a pool and we put ourselves on the water and I held you down, guess what? After a few minutes, you need some air, don't you?
You're gonna come up.
You need some oxygen, don't you?
Right.
And then when you push and fight, no matter how much you just fight, you will do everything. And when you come in, the same way that you fight for oxygen, you gotta fight for your business, fight for your dream.
I love that.
You gotta fight for it. That just like that.
I love that. We're gonna move it to switch around because I love you preaching right now. We can be here all day. Let's talk about plant-based.
Oh,
Because I saw that's the first thing I noticed when I walked up here. Plant-based.
yes, sir.
Tell me how you got involved with that. What made you say you market, so you must be knowing the market, you must be knowing the trends. Tell us a little bit more about why that is so important to add to your brand.
Well, the first thing I thought was, I know none of us live forever.
Correct.
None of us live forever, right? And I realized that, you know, in time, everybody, you know, you might compete a lot of things, but Father Time is a champion. It'll get you one day or another. But the best way to make sure that you can maximize your existence on this planet is to watch out for your health. Watch what you put into your body. Now, by no means am I like some type of health expert or I went to school for nutrition or anything, but 1 + 1 = 2. It don't equal 85. If we're sitting here drinking a Coca-Cola, which we all, if you look on the internet and see that the Coca-Cola, you with me, knocks acid off cars. Now, I'm gonna say this, I sell Coca-Cola. But
I understand.
And I ain't gonna lie to you, I like Coca-Cola a lot, you know?
Right.
But we know, and that's why Coke came out with Coke Zero and got all these things, to give them what? An option. Because you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make them drink.
Correct.
Does that make sense?
Correct.
But after realizing that there's so many people that are into health, there's so many people that want to extend their life expectancy,
Right.
I said, you know what? I'm gonna join that, but from a business perspective. Does that make sense?
I like it.
Why? Because everybody has to eat.
Everybody can eat.
but everybody doesn't eat well. Or eat.
Well, that's a lot. But you know, I grew up with the fat back, you know, with the corn, with the fried corn, the fried okra. You know what I mean? We putting what was it? For fat back in the collard greens and the black ivy. Not that healthy. Not that healthy. I grew up like that. But that's why I like that you this option.
That's right.
Because it's very important, I know, in our community.
That's right.
Diabetes and things that help.
That's right.
High blood pressure.
That's right.
That's very important.
That's
so
right.
How did you work with any doctors? Did you work with any science? Did you work with anybody who say, hey, let's look at some things we can blend together here?
All I did was go to the good old-fashioned internet.
Okay.
I'm just keeping it
I respect
I
it.
went to the internet and I found out and did research on what was good for you.
Right.
What's good to put in your body.
Right.
Once I found out, then I researched vegan eating.
Okay.
Okay? Once I researched that, then I went to visit vegan restaurants. I knew I had been in the restaurant industry for a long time. So I did anything that you do, you better research.
Facts.
Does that make sense?
Facts.
Then I dug in. I took the flavors, the seasonings, and all the things that we utilize to make the food that we make, and I made it applicable to vegan and plant-based eating. I knew when I did it such, I was doing something special.
Right.
Because I knew at the time I didn't like plant-based food. I thought it all was bland and had no flavors. And I said, what if I was able to make plant-based food taste like home-based food?
Okay.
Does that make sense? I coined that phrase. Don't try to do it. I already trademarked it. Home-based food, you know, something we all used to. But what if you could take plant-based food and give it the flavors, the aroma of or plant-based food and give it the flavors and aroma of home-based food? Well, I think I was able to achieve that. After 5 years of having what we call Meatless Mondays at one of my locations, right?
Okay.
We saw the results. We saw how people felt. We saw how people got emotional on the products that we were creating in the lab. We call it lab, the kitchen, right? And I knew that when I went on to, you know, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 8 new locations, I knew I wanted to go ahead and launch it. So I did right there in Capitol Heights, Maryland, right there off of 495, exit 15, Capitol Heights. As soon as you get off, it's a shopping center right there. And I built a beautiful restaurant there about 10 months ago. It opened. The Carolina Kitchen, the first Carolina Kitchen with plant-based option. And guess what? 1,000 customers a day. It's crazy. 1,000 customers. And a great deal of that 1,000 customers are plant-based eating. Don't sleep on the plant-based.
Well, because I do Meatless Monday.
Right.
I do Meatless Monday,
Yes,
so
sir.
I get it. I totally understand it. So I'm glad that we got away from like the pork and all that stuff, put in the greens and all that
That's right.
stuff, but eating healthier.
That's right.
There's different ways to do it.
And I want you to taste, you know, some of our plant-based food. It's amazing. It tastes like home.
That's why we're here. That's why we're here today.
Yes, sir.
You want to try it?
Yes, sir.
Taste what? See,
Let's do it.
And you know, because you know, I drove 30 minutes here to get here.
Wow. Okay.
But I wanted to make sure we wanted to celebrate your story.
Yes, sir.
Tell your story through the podcast for people to come out here and check you out.
Yes, sir.
Because we don't have one close like this. So this is close right here.
Yes. Well, see now, you know, this is the second, you know, Carolina Kitchen with plant-based options.
Okay.
Okay. So here, of course, we got all the home-based things. I mean, I was shocked. You know, it's funny. You know how many people that eat home-based that we're switching over to plant-based. It's crazy. Right inside of our restaurant, when they do the taster and they taste some of the product, they're switching over. And a lot of people that eat the plant-based, of course, they don't switch over, but they're just happy that we have that option.
An option.
You see what I mean?
An
And it's not a small option. This is wonderful. We have a lot of plant-based options. I mean, we juggle them in and out.
What's some items? Tell us some items so we
You
know.
gotta try the jambalaya. You gotta try the seafood gumbo. You gotta try these special wings that we have in different flavors. We have barbecue, we have Thai chili, we have
This is all
fried,
plant-based.
plant-based, and it tastes real. It is real. It's real food.
Hey,
right?
listen, I'm here.
Yeah, you know, we have lasagna. We have all kinds of stuff. I mean, we even have orchard chicken. Oh yeah, plant-based. And certain days we do steak with mushroom steaks.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, and delicious. delicious.
You got my stomach here growling, though.
Come on, man.
And I heard somebody tell me you're writing a book.
Yeah, I have.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
I could send somebody. If I had Stag somewhere when my assistant's around here, you can go get my book. I got let you see it. Be the first one to see it.
Ooh, but when is it coming out? Is it coming out soon?
When I open up this new restaurant that I'm opening called the Carolina Kitchen Sea and Soul.
How about this? That's part 2.
Yes.
That's part 2.
Yes.
We'll do that with the book.
Yes.
And we'll talk about that and talk about everything that you got going on.
Yes.
Let's make that. We can make that happen.
Sir, let's make it happen.
That'd be great. Something to do.
Yes, sir.
And now we bring the book out. We can talk about that and how important that is. Because I know you got some other things going on too. You got a lot of stuff going on. So that's why.
Well, I share with you. I have, right now we're right in the middle of this opening.
Right.
And I appreciate you being here because the customers are excited about us being here in Owens Mills. But we also have a restaurant. I told you, Sea and Soul. With Sea and Soul, I built this giant restaurant, and it has a fish market in the middle of the restaurant. So you can get fresh fish, lobsters, oysters, clams, mussels, and go home with it. Or you can get it cooked right there at Sea and Soul. And you'll be able to get steamed Maryland crabs.
Oh, okay.
Or you can sit down in a dining experience. Or you can go through the express like you always see it in the big seafood Carolina Kitchen brands. Or I cut a hole in the building, in the wall, and I got this glass building built in Italy. It's almost here on the ship. And we mounted it to the wall and built this sexy Miami style bar and lounge. And you push a button and the roof retracts.
Uh-oh.
And you can be at the bar, right, in the glass building, and be at the bar in the restaurant, and the bartender's in the middle between the glass and the actual restaurant itself.
Where is that going to be located? Or you can't announce it?
But I ain't finished the ants.
Okay.
I got to finish the ants.
Okay, go ahead.
Then, right, outside, next door, is a brand new, and I am the very first owner of a license to open up a spirits and wine store called L. London's Fine Wine and Spirits. Right next door, right? That you can frequent not only from the outside, but inside the restaurant. So what you have is express, carry out, a beautiful dine-in restaurant with private seating, with big giant monitors that look like fish tank, right? And a fish tank in a hostess stand. There's a real salt fish tank in a hostess stand, right? You have a lounge bar with an oyster bar up there getting fresh oysters, right? And you have a fish market. You take fresh fish, lobsters, oysters, and you have a spirits and wine store right next door.
It's a lot.
It's a lot,
It's
right?
a lot going on.
And that is scheduled to open in about 4 more months or less.
Where's it going to be at?
That's going to be in Lanham Bowie, right there, Vista Gardens. You know what Vista Gardens is?
Vista Gardens.
Right across the street is Vista East.
Okay.
So it's a brand new shopping center. I'm right there, that big, it's wrapped up saying Carolina Kitchen Sea and Soul coming soon. It's getting ready to open and get excited.
So you know what? Let's do this. We're going to do the book. We'll do a live show with speakers. People can hear you.
Do it.
We'll do a cool one like that. In 4 months.
Let's launch it up.
Done.
You know what, though?
What's that?
We're going to have to do a third show.
Oh.
We're going to have to do a
Here
third
you
show.
go.
And the reason why we're going to have to do a third show is because I have, after my grandmother, Mom Pearls, I named a restaurant after her.
Oh, wow.
And that's named Mom Pearls Louisiana Kitchen and Grill. Now, the reason why it's Louisiana, some members of our family are from Louisiana as well.
That's a different flavor. That's a different flavor. It's a whole different flavor down there.
Whole different swing on this thing.
It is.
You know, crawfish.
Alligator, all that stuff. Everything.
All that.
All that
fried
stuff.
alligator, all that.
All that.
Sex drinks.
Turtle, all that. Turtle soup, all that stuff.
We're going to have Mardi Gras night every week on Thursday.
Oh.
Every week, Thursday night is Mardi Gras night.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Now, the beautiful thing about this restaurant is that I have a bar that sits 46 people, a round bar. It circles every hour around the restaurant, very slow. So when you're sitting at the bar, it's moving.
Like the merry-go-round bar in New Orleans.
You got it. There it is.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you got it.
I know you're talking
You
about.
got
Yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah.
I did my swing on that.
Oh, okay,
You know,
okay,
a bar
okay.
in the middle, and it turns around the whole time. You'll see it take you 1 hour to see the whole restaurant.
Ooh, I said like a third one.
Yeah.
We said, Lee, your third one? That's what it sounded like to me.
But you know what though? At that restaurant, right next door is Ma Pearl's. No, Ma Pearl's Louisiana Kitchen Grill. Next door is El London Fine Wine and Liquor again.
Makes
number
sense.
2.
Makes sense.
Right side by side.
Makes sense.
And a
That
door
makes
in there to take you into the Spirits and Wine store too.
So we got to wrap this in a big, beautiful bow because you dropped so many exclusives today. Exclusives. Tell us people from the Baltimore region, the area, what they can expect coming here if they've never been here ever before. Because I got a lot of people who, like I said, big audience, Anne Arundel County, Howard County, all those big audience. They want to find out what would they expect when they come here. What should they expect? I know they're gonna get, but you tell.
Well, you're gonna expect, first of all, the first impression you come inside here, it's like an orgasm for your eyes. You'll come in every color explosion, and you'll feel like you're in some kind of optical illusion because it's beauty in every inch of this restaurant, from the flowers, the trees, the colors, the actual portraits. So that's the first thing you're gonna think. But then the smell is gonna hit you with all the delicious food. We have everything from smothered chicken and gravy, southern fried chicken with honey drippings. We have Creole salmon, grilled salmon, seafood combinations, Chesapeake's, mom's meatloaf, jerk chicken. We're getting ready to add, because we're in Baltimore, lake trout. I gotta add.
You got lake trout. You got lake
hit it
trout.
with lake trout, right?
You got lake trout.
Also, we have croaker, fried whiting, candy yams, collard greens, honey butter cornbread. Of course, we have black eyed peas, the best potatoes out, the best candy yams, the best collard greens you ever could buy from a
Your macaroni and cheese is no joke.
Don't play with the macaroni and cheese.
Is no joke.
You don't play with the macaroni and cheese.
Facts. That's
the macaroni and cheese is like that. It's like that. The macaroni.
Oh, I know it is.
Right.
Oh, I know. And I'm not gonna lie. My favorite is the smothered chicken. I'm not gonna lie. Smothered chicken and that rice.
Yeah. Smothered chicken over rice, or that red mashed potatoes. Oh my God, red skin mashed potatoes are delicious. Garlic mashed potatoes. We have that banana pudding, red velvet cake, chocolate cake, lemon cake, coconut cake.
Any cobblers?
Apple cobbler, peach cobbler, blackberry
I'm a
cobbler.
peach cobbler guy. I'm a peach cobbler guy.
We have all that. Peach cobbler. We have a lot. I can't name everything, but it's all right there for you.
Okay.
Fried blackened catfish. You name it, it's here.
Do we know the hours?
Lemonade, iced tea.
Do we know the hours of? I know you're working out right now.
Here, working out. I think I'm gonna stay open late here in Owens Mills because everything closed so early.
Right.
To get people out. Like tonight, we're closing at 10. You with me? This is only our third night open. I appreciate you being here. It's our third night open here, but we're basically closing at 10. We might stretch it to 11 on the weekends.
Okay.
Right. So that's how.
What about opening like your 5 in the afternoon?
The first 2 weeks we're opening at 5.
Makes sense.
Close at 10. But after everybody's trained, we're going to be opening at 11 to 10, and then 11 to 11 once I decide whether I'm open on the weekends.
Gotcha.
Haven't made that decision yet, but it's definitely going to be 10.
Gotcha. People always ask, will you be on DoorDash? Will you be on any of those type of things? People ask.
They definitely gonna see me on DoorDash, Uber Eats, and online ordering.
Okay.
They can do all that. Right now, I'm putting a new website out, so they won't see it. www.thecarolinakitchen.com.
Okay.
But that'll be up very short. It's under development because we took the old one down because I'm opening all these different new concepts.
Right.
I even have a breakfast concept, which I'll tell you about. That's coming too.
That's next one. That's next episode.
Yeah.
We can get a little drop out there. We can't give everybody everything.
I tease y'all. I got a monstrous breakfast place coming. I'm trying to tell you, with country breath. I'm trying to tell you, I'm excited about it. Monstrous breakfast spot coming.
Well, Dr. London, I appreciate your time.
I appreciate
I know
you
you've got a packed house. People
Yes,
ready
sir.
to come in now. We thank you for your time, sir.
And I appreciate you coming out with the #1 podcast in the country. Let's do what we do.
That's what
Come
we do.
on now,
All right,
get
baby.
excited.
Love, peace, we're all folks.